Hello sir, how may I help you?
ओ, आप यहाँ पे ये बेच क्या रहे हो?
We bring you the latest fashion at Zara. ये हमारा latest winter collection है, caps का.
और इसका वो प्राइसिंग कितना होगा? ओ, मेरे बैंक अकाउंट में एग्जैक्टली इतने पैसे हैं. और वो क्या है?
Sir, ये हमारा new accessory collection है.
कौन सी एक्सेसरी? गॉगल्स?
नहीं सर, chains. और सर हमारे पास कॉम्बो ऑफर भी है. Only 48,999.
कोई बात नहीं, लोन ले लूंगा. पैक कर दो.
शॉप एट ज़ारा, सेविंग्स के वजह दे 12.
From Bollywood celebrities to influencers to your friendly neighbor, this brand is changing how Indians dress, and I'll tell you the crazy part, the brand has not spent a single dime on traditional advertising and built a $13 billion empire. Yup, such has been the obsession with Zara. In 2009, Zara entered India under a joint venture partnership with Tata Trent, who owns 49% of Zara India. That's right, Zara's local partner is none other than Tata. In 2023, Zara and Tata's joint venture reported an over 40% year-on-year increase in its India revenues, clocking an annual revenue of 2,562 crores. But the question is, how's a brand which entered India a little over a decade ago changing fashion and beating Indian brands at their own game? In today's video, we're going to break down how Zara tricked India to fall in love with this fast fashion culture, how it's making way better profits than Indian brands, and lastly, the cost of Zara's fast fashion trend. Let's start with Zara's target demographic. Check out this graph. We've shown you this graph many times, so by now you ideally should recognize it, but let's revisit it one more time. So India can be divided into 3 Indias. That's India 1, India 2, India 3. And this India 1 and aspirational India 2 is Zara's main focus because they're the only ones who have enough money to pay 3,500 rupees for these torn knickers. But the reason why these people pay that much for Zara is because of the brand. Premium brand is the first thing that comes to our mind when we hear the word Zara. Image and perceptions are literally everything, and Zara shouts rich and premium even if it's with a torn knicker. So how did Zara achieve this? See, Zara invests heavily on the location and appearance of its stores and often secures prime locations in luxurious buildings, often along with big brands like Armani, Gucci, Louis Vuitton. So this basically creates something called a halo effect, wherein how you perceive a brand is enhanced by its association with these other fancy brands around it. Just because it looks and feels fancy, it also attracts these high-paying customers. According to your story, Zara goes to the extent of hiring neuromarketeers to very strategically design the store windows in a way that will entice the customer to enter. Next time you walk past Zara, try and notice this. Now there's another strategy that Zara adopts while expanding its stores. It's called the oil stain strategy. We came across this in a Harvard case study done on Zara. Now, have you seen an oil stain and how it spreads? So, similar to how an oil stain, which gradually spreads and then covers an entire area, Zara also only expands and opens multiple stores in a country only after it fully understands the pulse of the market by opening and studying the market through one flagship store. Zara entered India more than a decade ago, but it has only expanded to 20 stores compared to its rival H&M, which has more than 40 stores across the country. But despite this difference, Zara is kicking H&M's ass with each Zara India store selling 1.5 times more products than an H&M store in the country. And the average monthly sale per India store is almost 10% higher than the global average. Zara's next trick, which has made it so successful, is its customer-obsessed approach. Customer insights are the holy grail of Zara's business. They basically maintain a database of its customers and use technologies like RFID or radio frequency identification technology in its stores to track which garments or styles are being picked up by consumers and evaluate the demand and quickly respond to these demands to stay on top of the trends. Zara is so obsessed with their consumers that all their designers are constantly in touch with store managers in every country who give obsessive attention to the customers who visit the store and notice what they're buying, what they're wearing, what are their preferences. To give you an example, in 2015 sometime, a woman walked into a Zara store in Tokyo and asked for a pink scarf. But she left since it didn't have any stock left. And around the same time, the very same incident took place with other women in San Francisco, Frankfurt, and Toronto. Literally, within 7 days, Zara dispatched over 500,000 pink scarves across its 2,000 stores worldwide, which got sold within 3 days. Zara has a new design every week in each of its stores, thanks to this customer obsession and a supply chain that seems literally as quick as Zepto. Zara produces an astonishing 12,000 designs every year compared to the industry average of 2,000 to 4,000, which basically ensures that there's always something new. So every time you enter Zara, it's like a novel experience because you've got new designs and new pieces to buy from. Now, I want to break down how exactly they're able to produce these pieces and get them all to these stores this fast. It is essentially all because of Zara's supply chain, which is the heartbeat of the whole business. And here's how it works. So Zara owns most of its factories in its home country, Spain, and has a centralized distribution center there, which is in constant touch with suppliers and store managers in other countries like India, Bangladesh, China. So all the clothes are basically designed here and dispatched from here roughly twice a week to all different parts of the world. Zara's business model is vertically integrated and owns the whole supply chain. This also gives them the flexibility to increase or reduce production and keep these production costs low. And because of this flexibility in production, Zara is able to keep the number of goods unsold really low, literally as low as 10% when the industry average is usually 17%. This robust supply chain helps them create designs and ship them to its store in just 4 to 6 weeks compared to normal fashion retailers' average of over 6 months. Now, while all of this sounds super impressive, there lies a very harsh reality behind all of this fast fashion culture. Factory workers in Bangladesh are being exploited by Zara along with its rival H&M, according to a recent report which surveyed 1,000 factories in Bangladesh. Zara has also been accused in past for exploiting workers in China and Brazil, with folks in Turkey even going as far as slipping help notes in clothes. And it's not just this. Zara and all these fast fashion companies are also taking us closer to a major water crisis. You'll be shocked to know that in order to manufacture one cotton t-shirt, it takes 2,700 liters of water. On a serious note, we are going through a severe water crisis, with a report by the WWF saying that over 2 billion people across 40 countries are suffering from water shortages. So while all of us enjoy our flashy cotton shirts and chic pants, our planet is genuinely suffering. So fast fashion might not actually be so cool after all. By 2030, India will become the world's largest consumer market. The global fast fashion market is expected to be a $100 billion opportunity by then. And with Zara showcasing that there's money to be made in this space, Tata and Reliance are already planning to buy their fast fashion empires. Reliance has already launched its Zara rival Azorte and will soon bring back another fast fashion giant, Shein, in the country. So while the hopes for the environment look slim, fast fashion potential might just put capitalism in India on steroids. Anyway, that's all about Zara and fast fashion. I'm Achina Maya, and if you like this video and want to see more business case studies like this, please subscribe to AevyTV.